I have no idea how loud this is going to be. Do you just know? Okay. All right, well, we expected it to be a little bit bigger. Would have been kind of sad if it wasn't. Is it a second charging port? I already like the stand significantly better than the one that we have. That was needed. I'm really curious to see what's inside those stem sticks. And if they're still using the same outdated garbage technology that was in the first ones that causes the drift, or if they've finally started using, like, metal joysticks to stop all of that. Oh, I didn't even see that. There are chargers on the Joy-Cons. I wonder how much they're going to charge for those. I don't know how I feel about that. Unless it's got, like... I wanna... That was actually... I don't know how I feel about the way that the controllers snap in. The new trigger, I actually kind of like that. I'd be curious to see how it feels and how it works. But I don't know how I feel about the controller snapping in. Unless, like, this right here is like the snap release, because I don't see a snap release on these things. So unless it's like on the system itself, which would be, I feel like, smarter. Their magnet, I don't know how I feel about it. If there's no, like, snap in, like, secure system there, I don't trust that. Magnets are cool, magnets aren't that reliable. Honestly, I think the best part of this is that they actually called it the Switch 2 and not some stupid, ridiculous naming convention like we all thought. Oh, I was like, what are you talking about? Why are you yelling at Small Amp? Which 2 plays both physical and digital Nintendo Switch games we expected. Didn't they already confirm backwards compatibility? Certain Nintendo Switch games may not be supported on or fully compatible with Nintendo Switch 2. I'm assuming that's just covers, like, a lot of the indie stuff that they're not going to bother. That, I mean, Nintendo's not going to bother porting, but, like, isn't likely to get ported. The Switch 'em up. Like, I was so afraid that they were going to go with some really stupid naming convention for this. And it would have been, like, the Wii U all over again. So I'm incredibly glad that they just went with something simple and, like, not stupid. Like keep it simple, stupid. It doesn't have to be weirdly complex. Oh, that's the Nintendo Direct. So it seems like, where was it? I haven't looked at much of the leaks, but I did see, like, the mouse stuff. And that seems to confirm that. I think it's games that use the IR sensor, since it looks like the new Switch doesn't have it. Oh, potentially. So it looks like that's like a separate... The real dissection I'm doing here is how much of this is going to come with it. Because I don't think... I get the feeling that... Or I wouldn't be surprised if the system didn't come with this, unless this is like... Hold on. Okay, no, never mind. I didn't see this bit. This is the this is just the new like wrist strap thing. Okay, never mind. Because in this day and age, I wouldn't put it past any company to sell like an additional working technology like this completely separate. I'm still incredibly sketched out by this. I don't trust this. I 100% don't trust this. I feel like that's a bad idea. I feel like that's going to cause, like, this is going to lead to so many, like, cracked screens and, like, broken systems. Because, like, I'll even say the original, like, snap-in design, the original snap-in from the top design of the Joy-Cons was, like, I thought that was questionable, like, just as questionable. Because that seemed like that was just a simple hardware failure away from your whole several $100 system just sliding out onto the floor. And shocker, that's kind of one of the most common things to happen next to Joy-Con drift, is the snap-in hardware wears down. It doesn't. That's the issue with my Joy-Cons, is mine won't stay snapped into my controller or to my system. The system also doesn't recognize them properly, but like if I were to try and hold my Switch up by the attached Joy-Cons, it would slide right out and just shatter on the ground. So like I always thought that was weird that they didn't like slide it in from the bottom if they were going to go with the slide attachment. And it's like, I get why they do it from the top, because like, oh, you could slide them on and off when it's docked, but like I still thought that was weird to slide them from the top. And I feel the same way with just snapping them in from the side and trusting magnets. I feel like so many people are going to like pull a hand away without fully letting go of that Joy-Con, and it's just going to rip out of the system and it's going to fall. Like I expect that's going to lead to a lot of destroyed systems or heavily damaged systems. But more than anything, I'm curious to see what's actually inside the joysticks. I'm curious what's inside these, because the biggest issue with the joysticks is that they're using like really shoddy hardware inside it, and it degrades very easily and it causes Joy-Con drift. It's like it's a staple issue with Nintendo controllers. And that's because they don't use sturdier hardware in their thumbsticks that can prevent that. Oh, I know it's going to be the same thing. I'm just really, really hoping that they've maybe learned the lesson with the Joy-Con, with all of the Joy-Con drift issues, and finally put like, steel thumbsticks in instead of just like plastic shit that just isn't reliable. Thumbstick's gonna drift like me in Mario Kart. But I mean, yeah, pretty much what I expected. That's really nice. I had seen like a few things about like better stand, but I hadn't seen like what it actually looks like. So like I like this. I very much like this. The stand on the Switch that we have sucks. There's no dancing around it. The current stand for the Switch is garbage. Damage. That too. They could just use like, instead of using magnets to hold the Joy-Cons in and support the entire system, they should be implementing the magnets into the thumbsticks, and they would never have the Joy-Con problem. Like I feel like that would just save them so much money in like repairs and shit. Cause like when the hardware has such a common defect like that, they have to acknowledge it and offer like a service to repair it. So like that costs them money. Whereas if they just use reliable hardware in there in the first place, you don't have to deal with that. especially when there's an existing hardware that already gets used that completely eliminates the chance for the main issue that you're facing. Like, it would just be dumb not to. Well, like that's my biggest hope for this system, is that the thumbsticks. I mean, I'm sure, like most people, that the thumbsticks are actually going to get improved. I'm also curious what this is, because we got an extra button now. Yeah, I've got a plugin that gives me dislikes. It's general, but still better than nothing. It's an extension. I doubt it's a turbo button. I would be so beyond surprised if this was a turbo button. I am curious what it is, though. Just kind of sprinkle in an extra button on there and refuse to elaborate any further. But yeah, no, that's about what I expected. Just the general reveal. Like, I mean, it says it in the name as a first look trailer. And I'm not at all surprised that this came out as soon as it did, considering they more or less kind of had to, because of all of the leaks being everywhere. They're like, well, if everyone's already talking about it, we may as well be we may as well capitalize on the attention. I mean, it's a Switch but bigger. Realistically, this doesn't tell us anything. And like, I mean, the first look trailer it's not designed to tell you anything. It's quite literally just to show it off. So I mean, it's just a beefier, sleeker Switch, which I mean is about what I expected. It'll be really interesting to see once we actually get more information on it, to see what like the internals are, what the specs are, the actual hardware. Yeah, there's going to be a direct for it on the 2nd anyway. Even as a first look, I was more excited for the PS5. I don't think I really ever get super excited for like console first looks. Like once upon a time, but like I think the last time I got excited for like releases and first looks at consoles was like the PS4, Xbox One generation, and then like I kind of learned my lesson on that after those came out, and the like dumpster fire shitstorm that entire console generation ended up being. So now it's just like, yeah, I'll wait and see until we have actual information. I mean, the Joy-Cons look fine. I feel like it's kind of weird that they chose to showcase just straight black, especially comparing it to the colored launch Joy-Cons from the first one. I think that's like just a weird design choice for the showcase, is just showing off a fully grayscale model with like the tiniest little highlights of colors. They definitely could have like, where's like an actual shot at these damn things? I feel like it might have looked better if they like added some color to the buttons, maybe, instead of just like a subtle ring around the thumbsticks. Oh, so that's the Switch 2. I don't think anyone's really surprised at this point. Pretty much everybody knew what to expect. But be curious to see what else we learn in April. So now, let's maybe outline around all the buttons of color. Yeah, even like that. Like a little more color would have looked better, in my opinion. It's just, it feels really weird, because even if I remember, even the first Switch, when that was announced, like originally revealed, I'm pretty sure they showed like the colored versions of it. I don't think they showed just the gray. I think they showed both versions that were available on launch. It kind of feels weird that they would go with like the dull one.